Hello, good morning everybody. It's now September the 14th, and I've got some awesome news, guys. I just finished off at the passport office and it looks like it's going to get approved. My friend invited me out for happy hour at 4 o'clock, coincidentally, and I am so looking forward to seeing her. I don't know if it was coincidence to celebrate like that I'm leaving or I'm gonna get my passport, but either way, I am so looking forward to today. Because if I do get my passport and we do head out for happy hour, yeah, we're gonna be hammered by like 5 o'clock. I just know it. Even though I said that I'm really happy to be like sober and no drinking, but hey, I've got to celebrate this pretty momentous occasion, right? And okay, the reason why I stopped drinking, guys, is because on the weekend, right? On the weekend, I 2 weeks ago, I actually bought a brand new Rolex. That's right, I bought a Rolex, okay? I think you guys saw it in the pictures and everything as well. Here's a receipt for it. I don't know if you guys can see this. Yeah, I'm not even gonna show you guys it, but it was a little bit too much. It was like 10,000 something dollars, right? And I was so drunk on the weekend that I chucked it off of my balcony into the river, like into the middle of the river. So now there sits a $10,000 Rolex sitting in the middle of the fucking river. Yeah, not really too happy about that, but that's why I wanted to adopt this sobriety. But if I do get my passport today, I'm absolutely going to be having a lot of wine with my friend. So yeah. Anyways, let's get this show on the road, guys. All right, so we're gonna take a look at this on a longer time frame. First of all, we're gonna look at this on a logarithmic scale, right? So I'm gonna keep this very, very short as well. Okay. So if you guys have noticed here, we can draw this in multiple ways. Where we could have considered, some people were expecting it to actually make a touch like here, right? Right up there and touching right there, because that would have been the 618 fib level, but it didn't actually quite do that. So let's review yesterday where we left off. We left off here saying that there is the golden pocket that it actually reached and it completely bounced off of it. And here, it actually reached the golden pocket as well and completely bounced off of that. So here, we were expecting the exact same thing for it to hit the golden pocket range and then bounce off of it, right? But it didn't quite happen. Now, let me explain to you guys. Let me explain to you guys how this works, okay? So when you're going on an uptrend, the most ideal thing to do is to catch it at the golden pocket range or the golden ratio. That's really ideal because it would signal to the market that, hey, this is a strong area. We buy it right around this range right here. And then once we buy it in this range, it's a great chance to go on a bull run, right? Just assuming it like that. And then we break out of here. We might add some to our position down there. And then what we do is we like to buy on the breakout of here, okay? Just like that. Makes sense? We buy in the breakout here as well to go long. So we add some to our position right there, and then we add more to our position there. Now, let's look at it the opposite way. So in a bear market, you have to assume, you have to change up your mentality to think kind of backwards, right? So in a bear market, when we're coming down and then we make a bounce upwards like that, what people do is now you take your fib range from the top and then you try to catch it right there where you're adding to your short, right? Or you're short entering a position. And then if it does break down from here, then it's going to be a heavy, heavy addition to your position, right? So you want to add more to your position right around here. Okay, makes sense? On the breakout of that coming down, right? So that's exactly what has happened in terms of hitting the 0.618 Fibonacci region. Make sense, guys? So I'm going to explain it very quickly again for you guys if you don't understand it, right? This is a 618 region. This is the 618 region as well. And here we were hoping to hit the 618 region, but it just never actually quite hit it. So now we're trending within this particular range that has a high probability later to break down. So the question is, are we in a bull market or a bear market, right? This is clearly a descending triangle. But to me, I see this as gaining strength, guys, okay? The reason I see it as gaining strength is because this one here obviously reached a much lower low, right? Like this one here reached something like 5,800-ish. This one here was only around 6,100 range. But despite that, the RSI difference is pretty massive. Like we're talking about an RSI difference comparing from about 29 to about 35, which is pretty significant in my opinion. So today, guys, is going to be a fairly bearish day, in my opinion, because this is now considered a a bearish spinning top. Let me show you guys what a bearish spinning top is. Okay, a bearish spinning top is basically just like that, right? A spinning top has an open and a close, for example, right here. An open and a close with the body with equal wicks to the upside and equal wicks to the downside. Notice this wick right there up and this wick down is pretty much the same length, right? With the body right in the middle. So what we have so far today is irrefutable. Is a bearish spinning top, but don't forget, guys, this is a technical analysis that's done in the morning, and we still do have about 9 hours to go, right? So notice in the past 12 hours, we got this bearish spinning top. First of all, we ended up getting this doji candle, right? Or this is like this is a bearish spinning top as well, but it's green, which is still bearish, but not as bearish. Makes sense? Right? Or some would even consider it a doji, but the body to me is not small enough. So here we have the tension between the bulls and the bears. So think of it like this. We have a massive run up going from 62. And by the way, guys, like I didn't specifically call it being bullish, but I did say that we are bullish, right? For Bitcoin, and that's what I believed, that we were gaining strength. So think of it like this, guys. How bearish spinning tops work, okay? You get a big uptrend, and then you get a candle that signals that the momentum has changed. So what makes me the kind of trader that I am, and the reason why you guys are able to see me capitalize on these profits day in, day out consistently, is because I treat the market as something that oscillates like a sine wave, like a cos wave. You guys know what I mean? Where it just oscillates up and down. That's a bad example to do it on this. Let's get one I can draw it better on. I see it as a wave that goes up and down, right? Like that, always, okay? And what I want to do is I want to catch it as I see it rolling over. So I'm trying to catch it as I see the momentum shifting, right? And clearly here, the momentum is shifting. So upon these areas, like right there where I feel it's slowing down, that's where I will ladder my shorts, right? And then upon right here where I see it slowing down to come down, right? That's where I'll start laddering my longs. So that's the way that I see the market. I see it as a wave that oscillates, like a sine wave or a cos wave for you math geeks out there, right? And as it oscillates, we try our best to just go with the flow because the trend is always our friend. Now, we are no whales. I'm sorry to say, guys, just because you're playing with 100K, 200K, $250,000, it does not even close to meaning you're a whale. It is absolutely controlled by not people like you and I who are retail investors or traders. It's controlled by institutions who have large amounts of money. Okay? And all that we are just tiny little minnows in a fish of sharks and oceans. That's what we are. So all that we can do is basically, dance to the tune of the song, and whatever they blow, like whatever, we're just following the wind that they're blowing to us. If that kind of makes sense, okay? So now the big question is, what's going to happen next with Bitcoin? And by the way, I just want to give you guys some tips, right? Do you guys see these series of candles? This right here, right, is basically like a shooting star. Very bearish candle, like a shooting star. Super low volume. And here, the bulls tried to push it up heavily in the past hour, okay? In the past hour. And it got rejected really hard by like $30-something. But that in a 1 hour candle alone was so implicative with the volume increasing that there was a large sell-off. So if I was actually awake at that time, which was actually at 3 in the morning, I would have gladly shorted the market there, right? But unfortunately, I wasn't really awake at that hour. So that's how you were able to notice. that it's definitely going to be a good short opportunity. So let's go to a 4-hour chart right now. Okay, let's get this back in a decent log scale. So now what we're seeing since August 13th, do you guys remember me saying multiple times what the flavor of the month is? The flavor of the month is clearly, or the year rather, is 786 fib level, right? And here we happen to see the 0.786 fib level. So the best time to go long this year, guys, is the is right around that region, right? So now I bet you anything, without even looking at it, without even taking out my fib tool right now, that we're finding resistance at 382 level. Let's double check. Hey guys, what do you know? Let's do a little bit better. We're finding resistance literally right at the 382 level. So every time we're reaching, remember in my last video, we're reaching a new fib region, we need to see how the market is going to react. So it is always in your best interest to take some profit at these key zones, right? And the way that I'm seeing this right now is actually only waves 1, 2, and 3 going upwards. I personally don't see 5 waves quite yet at all, okay? So I'm seeing right here. So now we want to ask ourselves, okay, is this actually going to be a 5-wave structure going upwards? Or is this just some simple ABC and we are going to break straight down well below where these support ranges are between 61 and 6200? So now we got to wait and see. But the cool thing about the 8-hour candle is that we rejected, guys, like about $100 so far in the past 8 hours, right? So then we just keep moving down and we say to ourselves, all right, well, on the 5-hour chart, guys, we just simply cannot break above the 55 EMA, right? We try to break above it, can't do it. Now we say to ourselves, okay, where are we bullish and through what time frame so far? So we're bullish to about a 3-hour time frame right now. So if you guys look very closely here, we're actually rejecting to the downside of the 55 EMA. So the way that I'm going to see this right here is basically an ABC, and I'm going to be very, very diligent to see what kind of retracement we're going to get. So I see this right here as an ABC, right? And I'm going to go down to a little bit of a lower time frame as well. And I'm going to show you guys my thoughts on Elliott wave. I see this right here as clear as day as 1. I see this as 2 down there as well. And you know what? This is now 1. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And that's 5, right? It's so clear to me. And now, honestly, guys, we're going to get some sort of ABC correction. I'm going to guess too, it could even be heavily truncated. And the reason why we're actually bouncing off of here right now, guys, is because of this bad boy, okay? And I'm going to show you guys some tips right here. So the way that we treat waves 1, waves 2, waves 3, and possibly wave 4 and a 5 up is that this specific region right here acts as a support because wave 1 was previously a resistance, and a resistance always turns to a support, and a support always turns to a resistance, right? That's generally how it is. And guys, don't mind all the mess in the background, by the way. I'm literally packing and cleaning at the same time, and I threw like a big birthday party on the weekend, right? As you guys know, it was my birthday party, and I still haven't really cleaned yet. So I think I'm gonna hire some cleaners to come today, because I just don't have the time to clean it whatsoever. So yeah, I don't ever really hire a cleaner unless I like have a massive party and then I just run out of time. But this is one of the times where I think I'm gonna do it. So anyways, I'm just gonna delete this really quickly here, okay? So does that make sense, guys? Why we're finding support here right now, right? We're getting our ABC in here, and there's a really strong chance that wave 4, it likes to alternate, okay, guys? Like, it likes to alternate like this. Let me show you guys more tips, okay? Let's say we get 5 waves going up like that. From my experience in the market, right? From my experience in the market, let's just say that this was an ABC, okay? If this right here was an ABC, there's a really good chance that this is going to make some sort of ABCDE like in a channel or something like that, right? something like that, we're just gonna say, where it makes like a channel or even a triangle for a breakout or even some sort of ascending triangle, right? So it's a strong possibility that we're still gonna see much higher highs, guys. Okay, let me show you what I mean, okay? Like that. Let's just say that it does something like this, where we get an A, we get a B touch, we get a C, we get a D, and then we get an E, right down over here. Like that. And this is the whole wave 4 that we consider it, but the 4 retracement would be considered down to over there. Or it could be even more slanted, right? It could be something like this even as well, where it makes something like a channel, you can say. Like, you just never know how it could be a symmetric triangle, how it ends up being, and the wave 4 goes like that. But the point is, we can confirm it if the wave 1 territory actually ends up holding, right? So that's why we're getting a bounce off of here and a long wick. So don't forget that we are allowed to get a wick in a highly leveraged market, okay? So now what we're hoping for is actually support right here. You look at a 2-hour chart, guys, and this wick is rejecting it hardcore at the 55 EMA. So now I'm led to believe that we are going to get one more wave up, guys. Yeah, and if I am right about this theory, then a great place for me to consider. I don't like to trade Bitcoin anymore, if you guys have noticed, okay? You guys know why I don't like to trade Bitcoin? I don't like to trade Bitcoin because every time Bitcoin moves 2 to 3%, every other coin will move at least 2 to 3% and a lot more multiplied by a factor. So just as an example, if not all coins, first of all, are directly correlated positively to Bitcoin, right? Some do negatively correlate because some people like to hedge into it, like how we've seen Ethereum and EOS in the past do that as well, right? Whoa, this is actually so comfortable, I realized, this chair. Super comfortable. Yeah, that's my OCD kicking in, guys, where I can't pay attention to one topic sometimes. Okay, so, and I completely forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, I honestly have no idea. So let's just say that this was the A, and that's the B, and that's C, right? It's a strong possibility as well, okay? So let's just say that that was, the ending 5th wave-ish, going like that, and this one just made the ABC, right? That made the ABC for the B wave going up, and then this, makes the C wave just like that, coming down to this region where it's heavily truncated. So let's just say that we do bounce off of this region right here and force somewhere in there. What I'm going to be doing is looking for signs of bullish divergence, right? Like, can we see any signs right now? Yeah, we actually do see signs of bullish divergence already. For example, right here. So what I am going to do is I'm going to wait, guys. I'm going to wait to see how this plays out and to see what kind of retracement it makes. If it does get to these regions here, then we know with certainty, guys, that it's going to make some sort of ascending triangle to break out. So we tried to break above these highs right here. Do you guys see this region right there? But this ended up becoming a major bull trapped region. What a bull trapped region is it's a region where the bulls are trapped. Simple as that. Because the bears are the ones who are actually driving up the price so they can trap the bulls to give us this false illusion that the market is steadily rising when in fact it's going to do the complete opposite. So now don't get me wrong, okay? We can still end up trending lower than this region right there despite wave 1 territory being like that, because the first wave can also make something like an expanding flat, right? Or expanding diagonal as well, or whatever you guys call it, okay? Some people know it by different names, right? Or it can even make a leading first wave diagonal, right? That's absolutely possible. So that's how I'm seeing it right here, right? Where this is now the first wave, the second wave, the third wave, right? So now let's just say we assume many things like that, okay? Now let's say we even do something like that as well, where this could be, it literally could be an expanding diagonal. But is it possible for us to change it to our will, right? So now does this make sense as well, where we considered some of these regions a bear trapped bull trap region, that's a bear trap region, that's a bear trap region as well. So hey, look at what we got. We got a beautiful little channel going upwards, right? So now the big question is, are we going to trend over here, right? That is the big question to me. So now I isolate it to this specific region. That is the region I will be isolating it to, and I want to see how tight this gets. Might even go a little bit lower, you never know, but we can't deny the fact, it's almost refutable that, hey, this does look like it's going to be a possible channel. And also we have to acknowledge the fact that, hey, this is now actually hitting the 0.5 Fibonacci level. This right here hit the 0.5 Fib level, right? So now guys, what I want to see is what is going to happen in here. What kind of price action are we going to get? It's all about watching the game, guys, and seeing how it's going to unfold, right? So is this going to, you know, is it going to cover around this region, or will it actually make this kind of pattern where we, let's just say we move it up right here, right? Where this region right here is considered kind of a bull trapped region always, right? And then we say to ourselves, all right, well now, if we isolate it to region 1 over here, and we also consider a possible, you know, ascending triangle, hey, is that possible? Where we're gonna make an ascending triangle and constantly test between the 65, you know, 50 and the 6600 region? Possible. So every time we hit this lower boundary, I will be very interested in seeing what altcoins do. And I will definitely try to go long on it because we're establishing multiple modes of support thus far. So here's my position right now to let you guys know very transparently that I am in a long position for $5,600 for IOTA, which is actually tiny in the grand scheme of things to me. But $5,000 position, I'm pretty happy with it. I tried to get way more, but I just couldn't because I started the TA first, right? So now I want to see. I honestly am so curious to see what's going to happen in this region, guys. And I think I'm going to buy Bitcoin, honestly. I'm going to accumulate Bitcoin in this region right here, whatever region it is. They're like between 6,400 and like 6,450, like 6,430 ranges. I want to accumulate Bitcoin because I do believe we're going to break out of this high. I do believe we're going to break out of this high. And if I do my trend-based fib extension target right here, okay, I do my trend-based fib extension target, and hey, I see it hit slightly higher than 1-to-1 ratio right there. So then if we actually do break out of that resistance between 6,550 and 6,600-ish range, I know this is a little bit messy, guys. Now, I'm going to say very firmly that if we end up bouncing off of there, boom, that's going to be our next target, $6,700. Sorry, my favorite person is messaging me. My buddy Dan, I love him. So yeah, that is my logic, guys. You guys have it. You guys heard me say before that we were bullish on Bitcoin. And I'm still bullish on Bitcoin as well because I think that there's going to be 5 waves going upwards. So there you guys have it. Those are my thoughts. I tried to keep this as short as possible. And I'll see you guys later during the day. Bye. Take care, baby whales. I love you.